Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm playing with color with Mania, and I'm going to get started right away. So I cut these pages, this white cardstock, to 3 3/4 by 10 3/4, I think, something like that, maybe 11 1/4. And I pulled all of these strips out of my scrap bin and I color sorted them, which they weren't, so that took me a while, and you obviously didn't watch that. And so I'm just laying them out in color order. So on this one, it's going to get blue and green. The other one, it's going to get orange and yellow, and the last panel, it's going to get pink and purple, which is not perfect rainbow, but that's what I wanted, so that's what I'm going to do. And so I'm just laying these out. I want a balance of some darker ones, some lighter ones of each of these. Don't have very much green, so taking a look at what that green kind of looks like. I don't want too much of that grass green, but I don't want too much that's bright, so just making sure I get a little bit of balance there. And then I'm just popping out different colors. And sorry about the door, my kids are home on spring break, so and just popping these through. I did pull out way more than I actually needed, and I knew I did that, so it's all right. And then some of these I'm just gonna cut down. That one I cut down because I like that little burst of dark navy, and why not? And those are not these. That one probably. That other green one was too close. These ones are babies. And we're getting pretty close here. All right, so now I'm going to trim down some of these ones that I like that are definitely too big to be on as their full scrap piece. So this is definitely a good way to get rid of a lot of your border pieces all at once. So now I'm going to take my T-square, actually just my ruler. I don't know where my T-square is, and mark where half is. And then this is where my bluey green one's going to be. And I'm just looking at what angle I want it at. And then I'm going to line up the rest based on the first one. So just taking a look. I wasn't sure if I wanted to bud them up right up against each other for the papers or if I wanted some space. So I'm just taking a look to see what it would look like with the white in between. I'm like, meh. And I still have way more than I actually need, but that's okay. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. And then this is where I've decided that I am definitely going to make sure that there's no space between the papers. So I'm going to use my glue, and I'm going to have to unstick my glue, and then strip of glue, put it at the angle that I want, hold for a second, and then it's just repeating that process now. Some of these have a little bit of a edge on the border strip, so I don't want, like, this one had a creamy color edge, and so I don't want that to show. On some of the later panels, I just use the next one to cover it up and don't really worry about cutting it off. But this is the first panel. I don't make you watch the other two panels either, so just the one, because the one's lots, I think. If you haven't started speeding me up yet and you want to watch this faster, go ahead. Almost done the blue. So it does get a little tricky with these shorter pieces because you do definitely need them long enough, but there are some spots on the end here that they definitely can be just these itty bitty pieces. And away we go on them. So and a little piece there. And then I'm just going to cut this off for the blue. And then any of those long pieces I'm going to keep, and these itty bitty ones I'm not. I did put that striped one up to the side because I'm going to use that for my other panels to make sure that all my other panels are at the same angle. And now it's just going to be putting the green on. The green won't take as long because there's not as many of them. So I like that Paige gives a good, it's got some of the green and the blue on it for that polka dot. I put this one down that has more of this yellowy green and I don't really like it. I'm going to look at it for a bit. I did glue it down. I'm going to pull it up in a second, but it's pulling my eye too much to that one with the yellowy green. So and I do like having different thicknesses of the strips too, because it does give some different interest when you're looking at these when they're flat. Here's that one I'm changing out. And then one more. And then these ones are going to get cut off. And again, long ones I'm going to keep, short ones are going to go in the garbage. So those are long enough. These are not. And so then there's that one done. And then I'm going to do my orange and yellow. And this is how I'm going to sort out where I'm going to put my starting one. And other than that, it should pop ahead here right away. There we go. Those ones are done. And then here's my pink one. And I'm going to do them all the same direction. This was inspired by one of Paige Evans' Make It Mondays, and she does switch up her angle so that the middle one is going in the different direction. And I decided I didn't want to do that. So I'm using that same strip to give me the same angle. And here we are, almost done. Last little piece on here. And then I'm just trying to sort out, this one was a little plain, so I'm going to put this tiny one there and trim it off. And this part's done. And then because I did cut all those edges off with my scissors, they're not quite truly square. So I'm going to use my paper trimmer and square them up a little bit. Just trying to decide if this is how I want it to go. I do like it on the black, but I feel like it's getting a little lost. And then I realized it wasn't quite square, so that's what I'm looking at here. And so I am going to square them off. I thought about maybe backing this on white and black, and I don't like that as much, but maybe if I do it on black and then white. So I'm just going to trim. Here we are, squaring them up. And so then that's done better. And then playing around where I want the colors. This is in kind of rainbow order right now. It's going to stay that way because I don't really care. I just want it the way I want it. And I want that yellow at the bottom. I'm just doing a little bit of math to figure out. I should have just looked. It's 1.5 inches. There's about a third in between. I don't know. Whatever. But my brain was not doing its normal thing this day. So it is what it is. But this layout also took me almost 2 hours to do. I obviously am a lot faster when I speed it up, and I cut out a good portion of that part of like the paper piecing together. holy moly words. So I decided on the black for around the color, and then just lining it up and using the glue because these are pretty heavy, so I do want them to stay stuck. And then I was thinking, and then I decided I'm going to cut these apart. So I cut them apart on the black because why not? And this is still not quite square. So I was like, that doesn't work. That didn't work. I'll just use my scissors. Whatever. Let's embrace this. So I'm going to cut off a good portion of the border so that there's just this tiny bit of black peeking through. And I really like that. It adds some definition, and then it's going to go on a white piece of paper. Because why not? Why not use all the paper today? So, trim. So we're getting pretty close to being done here too. So I do decide to do a little bit of embellishing after I thought I was done, after I turned the camera off. And I'll show you those in my close-ups. I just added some vellum butterflies in the color areas, only because I found them after I turned my camera off, and I was like, oh, look at these. So then cut this down to 12 by 12 because it's not, which is a good thing to remember because it sucks when you forget. I like that more. I didn't know which picture I was going to actually scrapbook on this one, so I chose that one. That really quick green one will be coming up on Friday. I thought about using that rainbow backing piece of paper to matte my photo. I decided no. It was really thin too, so I would have had to do something else with it. And then I pulled out this really thick foam adhesive. I don't really super like this one, but I have it, so I will use it up. But it's really great for long things like this that you want to be really sticky. So it just doesn't cut super well for other things. It really gums up my scissors. So decided to matte this in white. It'll be about 1/8 of an inch around when it's all said and done. And then it'll get a black. So it kind of mimics the background with the white and the black, but in opposite order. And I just want that picture of my two babies to stand out. This is the first day of my youngest being home, and like the first full day, and my oldest was enamored, and so the little one was just laying, she's actually on the floor here, and my oldest just kept giving her kisses and like staring at her sleep. So this is a picture I snapped of her staring at her sleep. It's so sweet. I love this picture. It's one of my favorites. I'm surprised I haven't actually scrapbooked it yet. And I'm kind of surprised that it went on this random page that I was just doing a page background for and didn't have the picture in mind for it, because I don't know, that's not my normal way of scrapbooking. Normally I know what picture I'm scrapbooking. Today, not so much, which is okay because it had all the colors on it, so it kind of worked. I pulled out these Hip Kit Club chipboard titles, and I thought this love one would work. I don't really like it. I don't know. It just could have went up the side and that would have been fine, but I didn't like how it was on the blue. And so I pulled out these ones. These are American Craft. I've never used these ones, but they're that new baby pink girl color. And so I'm going to pull off this welcome. And they didn't pull off very nicely, so it is what it is. But the welcome's going to go on the top. And I do have a home, so I'm like, yep, we're going to call this Welcome Home. Because man, am I original with that one today. Or not, but that's okay. I don't have that many titles called, I don't think I have any called Welcome Home in either one of their books, so it's fitting and it works. And so this is where I thought I was done. So you are going to see some close-ups right away here, but I do find the vellum butterflies, which I'm going to show you in a second. And here is the page close up. And then you can see the butterflies on there in color coordinated order. So I did get quite a few of those on, which I was super happy about. I was looking for them for another page a week or two back, and they were actually in my scrap drawer, so I don't know how they ended up there. So there it is all together. Thank you so much for watching today. Here's a couple other videos if you're interested. If you haven't subscribed yet, I'd love to have you here. Have yourself a great day.